Oh, hey there, YouTube. It's Mike with Detroit Grooming Company. And of course, you already know that. But what you might not know is how Detroit Grooming Company got its start. So I'm going to tell you that story. And we're going to take a walk through all the years that we've been around and, talk about the genesis of the company. What brought us here? We started in a 100 square foot janitor closet. And if you think about it, having a facility like this is a major improvement, and it's a jump up from where we come from. So let's take a walk through the store here, and then we'll get going with our story. Are you done having a look around? Let's get started. So as you can see, the company looks great. It looks very well put together. In fact, you did just have a look at the storefront here. But it wasn't that long ago where there wasn't a storefront. In fact, a handful of years ago, we'd started Detroit Grooming Company in a 100 square foot converted janitor closet. And looking at it today, it looks very different. So let's take a walk through the history, and I'll tell you guys a little bit about why the company got started in the first place. So back in 2013, in November, I decided to grow my beard out for No Shave November. It's what many people do. In fact, you might be on that journey right now. But I did face my fair share of problems. And those problems included itchiness, flakiness, a beard that didn't connect to my mustache. I had all the problems that everybody normally has when they first try to grow their facial hair through. So I looked for a solution to the problem. I found a couple of companies, one of them on Etsy, a couple of them on Google. It was all over the board, ingredients all over the board as well. And I wasn't really sure what to look for, what would take care of my problem in specific. So I purchased a bunch of stuff to try it out, to find out, will this solve my problem? And just like any person would, I did a fair amount of research to find a solution. So after trying these oils out, some of them lasted half the day. Some of them smelled not so comfortable, and some of them were too greasy. In fact, some of the balms I had tried were really heavy and greasy on my face, and it felt like it was clogging my pores up quite a bit. So I decided to dig a little deeper and find out if it was something I could make in order to take care of my problem. So I did the research. I dug around, I found products that were already complete or halfway complete. I found vitamins and minerals, all plant-based, because I wanted to veer away from anything that was like an animal byproduct or also tested on animals. I just wanted to have a conscience when I built this product from scratch. So I found out that some oils are acids. In fact, most oils are acids or have a highly acidic profile. So they would eat each other up, and those delicate molecular chains would break down. And then whatever you were using wasn't going to be as effective as something that worked in concert with something else. So I started pairing oils together for a base that worked well together, that were a concert, like I said, well put together, something that would take care of my coarse hair and maybe give me my best chance at a great beard. So I set out to find those ingredients, and I put them together. And initially, I didn't want to start a business. In fact, I didn't have that fire inside me at all. I wanted to take care of my own problem. But once I solved my own problem, I started passing it out to people who were family and friends, and they encouraged me to take a look to see maybe I could do something with this. That was probably the only positive feedback I received when we first started the company, was right out of the gate. Because after that, I received nothing but negative feedback altogether. Like, what are you doing? Selling oil to dudes? Like, that makes no sense. Like, you're not going to make any money. This isn't a good career move. This is crazy. At the time, I was working at a jewelry store, and they'd closed the jewelry store because gold prices had gone down. So the value of the thing they valued the most evaporated. So I was subject to that repeatedly. In fact, being a bench jeweler as well, I had seen the market kind of go crazy, and there was no security in it. So I decided in my mid-30s to take a risk and try something new. This is what we used to look like. As you can see, it's as rudimentary as you can imagine. A cardboard craft box with a bunch of stamps on it. In fact, that's exactly what it is. I used to hand stamp these myself. Me and my co-founder Sean, we worked endlessly stamping flat boxes to make them look what we thought was cool. Now, here comes the really cool part, or crazy, it just depends on how you look at it. Here's one of the first bottles of Corktown ever poured. We had a craft label on there. That was our very first logo. We wax dipped everything. This is called King's Wax, so it's the same stuff like Tiffany's would use. But something you notice on the side here is the actual name of the product, which is Corktown. That was hand stamped letter by letter because that's all we had was typeset. So we used those rubber stamps and stamped the name of the oils on the bottle. At the time, we launched with 4 oils and had nothing else to our name, and it was kind of crazy start. Another cool thing we used to do is put a small glass daisy, and I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it in the bottle there, but there's a small thing that looks like a floaty in this bottle. It's actually a glass daisy. So the idea was when you got low on your oil and you shook it up, it would ring like a bell. So you knew you had to get another one. But it also helped mix the product up inside the bottle. So kind of cool, like attempting at an innovation. But really, it was the oils in here that were the true innovation. Not the bottle, not the packaging, not anything else, because we had no idea where this company was going to go. So we tried our hand at doing a local craft show called the DIY in Ferndale, and we made a ton of these. Well, a ton back then was a lot. A ton wasn't a lot, I should say. So maybe we made 50 of each of these, and it took us night after night working overtime to make them. Again, everything's hand stamped and hand dipped in wax. It was a crazy process. But our first load into the DIY disappeared. We had a 4-day show, and on the first day they were all gone. All the oils were purchased. We spent the next 3 days just doing demos at the show in our tent for people to come by, and told them where they could find us online. In fact, we didn't even have a website. We'd built our online presence via Amazon. We had to pay $40 a month for our Amazon store, and believe it or not, it'd be lucky if we sold $40 a week in product on Amazon. Then came the lightning. We were reviewed by AskMen.com. We're pitted up against 5 other oils. In fact, some that were new brands that had come to the scene, and some that were legacy brands, that were large brands that are still around today. They named us one of their favorite by far, and put our Amazon link in the description. That went viral. 300,000 shares in 2 days, and all of a sudden our Amazon store went from $40 to thousands of dollars, and now we had to change what we did, otherwise we would drown. So these days we look a lot different, and you guys are probably familiar with this if you've purchased from Detroit Grooming Company already, and some of you were around back in the day too. But now we look vastly different. Barcodes, which we never had, ingredient list, which we didn't have. I mean, it's kind of crazy to see where you came from and where you are today. But the biggest difference overall is just how we look. But everything that you came to expect from us back in the day, what brought us to the table in the first place, what changed the game for us and for so many beardsmen out there, are the ingredients we use. They're powerful and they're life-changing. And although that sounds like a lofty thing to say, they do change lives. You smell better, so you feel better. Your face is less itchy, no flakes. Your beard hair is softer, more manageable. All of these problems that had occurred to me in the very beginning helped change the face of what men's grooming looks like today. And that's just a huge thing. It's a huge thing for us. And if you're a customer of ours, it's a huge thing for you too. You've come to expect these products from us, and the fact that they're so essential in your lives. Men have long been marginalized in terms of health and beauty. We get a small, 3-foot section in a store where all the other health and beauty in the aisles, 4 aisles deep of various products, but men are relegated to a 3-foot section. So we're already marginalized in the health and beauty space, and along came all these handmade companies who helped change the face of men's grooming, and we are happy to be counted among them. So fast forward a few years later, and here we are in a 4,500 square foot location where we have full access to production, we have storage, we have a storefront, we have employees, which we didn't have before, which is incredible. So great to see the company growing, and really part of that growth isn't just like what we do here. it's also your support. So I want to thank you all for supporting Detroit Grooming Company. And last year, 2020 was kind of a crazy year going through a pandemic, and we grew during the pandemic. That says something about our products and how essential you guys find those products. And we'll be here for the long term. We expect you guys to have those high expectations of us, to make sure that we keep with our ethos, and that is to make high quality products for you to use every single day. So thank you guys for joining me today. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe down below, and the notification bell to get more cool videos like this faster than anybody, and you'll be right to write first in the comments if you're actually first, so don't cheat. Also, find us on our social feeds. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Twitter, and what's that one? MySpace. We have MySpace, right, Brad?
The MySpace thing kind of crashed, so I have to deal with that fire right now.
Crashed? MySpace crashed. Okay, well, anyway, it'll probably be up in the next 5 years, but look forward to that as well. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for all your support over the years. I just wanted to make sure to let you guys know how much you mean to us, but also tell you our story so that, maybe you gain some inspiration, maybe you look at us a little bit differently, but we came out as handmade as humanly possible, and we were born online. Thank you guys for joining me today. We'll see you next time.